The president of Honor Flight North Dakota and Minnesota described this year's 3 trips to our nation's capital as amazing.
Hundreds of veterans were given the opportunity to see the memorials and monuments for free as a way of saying thanks for their service to our country. Tonight, as we wrap up our coverage of the most recent trip, we introduce you to a man who drew a lot of attention from fellow veterans. That's Earl Lindsay of Fargo, lining up with other Army veterans for a photo at the Army Museum in Washington, D.C. Lindsay served during World War II, a stretch that lasted from 1946 to 1949. But if you notice on his cap, his career in the military was far from over. How and why did you serve in 3 different wars?
They needed help. So I was able to do my job, so that's what I did.
And if it were up to the 95-year-old, he would have continued serving.
I tried to go to Afghanistan, but they wouldn't let me. They said I'd done enough.
Earl was married for many years, but became a widow. And that's where his escort and neighbor, James Brandon, and his family stepped in.
For the last 11 years, he's been coming to my side of the family. He's like family to us. He has no family, he had no kids and stuff, so he comes to all the holidays. We do everything with him.
James says anyone would be honored to know Earl. He's the kind of guy who wants to help people.
I saw it right away, and I love visiting him, listening to his stories about the wars.
As did other veterans on this honor flight who would gather around Earl to share their war experiences. For Earl Lindsay, it's the best of both worlds. He's getting to remember the close-knit brotherhood he had while serving our country and enjoying the never-ending love of a family afterwards. James' daughter and her husband flew separately to Washington, D.C., where they surprised Earl and tagged along with us. That was just one of several of the examples of veterans who went on this trip and were happy and, yes, surprised to see family members who unexpectedly showed up.
Great.